Before we get into this video is sponsored by Pro Guides. If you are dedicated to improving as a player, I highly recommend you check them out. Link in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mickey C, aka TheLoLHounds, and today we have a build guide on a Mordekaiser main who has 2 accounts in Challenger on the Korean server, which is actually pretty insane for a server that doesn't have many one-tricks in Challenger. Also, Mordekaiser is not really considered overpowered or meta. He plays Mordekaiser mainly in the top lane and has a pretty interesting build where he rushes Luden's Echo as his first full item. I did find a stream of his, but it is all in Korean, but link in the description if you want to check it out. This video is going to focus on his runes, masteries, item build, and skill order. So without further ado, let's do this. So first of all, summoner spells. He takes Flash and TP when playing in the top lane. However, if he plays in the mid lane, he will take Flash and Ghost. Now onto his masteries. He goes with a fairly standard page, which is 12-18-0, with his keystone being Storm Raider Surge. Storm Raiders is really good because Mord doesn't have any gap closers, so he really needs the movement speed as he lacks the mobility. It also helps with the fact that Mordekaiser doesn't have any CC. He does have another mastery page that he uses, which is 18-0-12, with his keystone being Death Fire Touch. He doesn't use this one as often, but it definitely is still viable. He generally only uses this one in the mid lane when he takes Ghost, so therefore he doesn't really need the movement speed from Storm Raider Surge, so instead he takes Death Fire Touch. So if you're going to take Ghost instead of TP, then Deathfire Touch is likely to be the better option. As for his runes, he has got a pretty simple page: 9 magic penetration reds, 9 health per level yellows, 9 ability power blues, and 3 ability power quints. He takes this in every single game. So now we'll move on to his item build. So starting items, he has 3 different starting items that he likes to use, but 85% of the time he will start with a Doran Shield, 2 health pots, and a trinket. However, against strong early game AD matchups where he wants to get Seeker's Arm Guard or Ninja Tabby as quick as possible, he will start with a cloth armor and health pots. So you would likely see that against someone like Talon or Yasuo. The other starting option, which he only took in a couple of games, was Dark Seal. He took this in pretty easy early game melee matchups such as Fizz, but you can't go wrong with the Doran Shield start. As for his first back, against AD matchups he likes to rush Seeker's Arm Guard, and against AP matches he likes to rush a Negatron Cloak. He will then just sit on one of those 2 items. If he doesn't have enough gold for them on his first back, he would just get items such as an Amp Tone, Tier 1 boots, Dark Seal, or a cloth armor, depending on the situation or matchup. His core build would either be the Seeker's Arm Guard or Negatron Cloak into Luden's Echo, boots, either Ninja Tabbies or Source Shoes, followed by Rylai's. He really likes the Luden's Echo because of the movement speed you get, and like I said before, movement speed is very much needed on Mordekaiser because he lacks mobility. It also gives him wave clear, so he can push in the waves and then look to roam and take objectives such as Herald and Dragon. Dragon is obviously something you should always be looking for on Mordekaiser. His final build, he basically just goes full AP. An example would be Luden's Echo, boots, Rylai's, Liandry's Torment, Death Cap, and a Void Staff. Other items he would consider would be a ZZ Rot for extra pushing power when he gets that dragon, and a Locket, sometimes as a late game option if no one on his team has that item. As for his skill order, he would start W, then E, then Q, max W first, Q second, E third, and his ultimate whenever he can. However, in range matchups that have a lot of poke, so basically just the AP mages, which you usually only see in the mid lane, he would max E first, then W, and followed by Q. Okay, finally, let's talk about his playstyle a little bit. If he doesn't leash, he likes to hard push the first 2 waves with his W and then look to ward for any ganks. Mordekaiser naturally pushes the wave if he uses W, so if he does, he makes sure he pushes it all the way to the enemy tower, which constantly applies pressure. While doing this method, Mordekaiser does heal a lot from the minions with his W, and he can bully a lot of melee matchups pretty easily as he has the sustain, and he can heal back any of the damage that he takes from trades. So his laning phase game plan is essentially push with W and poke when you can with E. Also note the healing from his W is much greater if you can heal off an enemy champion. He does, however, play a lot more careful if the opponent has Ignite. Once he hits level 6, he will always look for a TP down in the bot lane, because if he gets a successful TP off, that likely means they can get Dragon, and Mord can use Dragon to then snowball the rest of the game. Mid to late game, his playstyle is basically push in the side waves and then look to group with his team for objectives and team fights. In team fights, he likes to use his ultimate as early as possible, or even on a pick, so he can get that ghost early and use that to win the rest of the fight. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much does it. That is the highest ranked Korean Mordekaiser. This is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, drop that like button, and as always, have a nice day.